Welcome to today's tutorial. So we're solving part C of question 2. So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe and make sure that you can also click on that notification button after clicking on the subscription button. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me on any of these lines. Alright, so we're solving a simultaneous equation, and this is a quadratic simultaneous equation. So to solve a simultaneous equation, if it is not containing linear equations, you make sure that at least if all the equations that we've been given are linear equations, you can use elimination or substitution method or matrix method. But in this case, we have a quadratic equation down there. So since we have a quadratic equation down, meaning we will not use elimination, so we are just supposed to use substitution method. And how do we use substitution? It is called substitution method because you have to make one equation as a substitute value to use in the second equation. So I'm going to make the first equation as a substitute value. So I have x plus y is equal to 5. So making this a substitute value, I'm going to make one of these variables as a subject. So I'm going to make y the subject to the formula. So I'm going to have 5 minus x. Hence, I'm going to replace this y, while there is y in this expression, the second equation, I'm going to put 5 minus x. So the second equation is simply just x squared plus then x plus y squared is equal to 51. So while there is y here, I'm going to put 5 minus x. So I have x squared plus x plus 5 minus x, then squared is equal to 51. So what I'll do is I'm just going to have x squared plus x, and then when I simplify this part, so simplifying this part, I have 5 minus x there, then squared. This is just the same as 5 minus x times 5 minus x. So now to simplify this, let me just demarcate this side so that you don't get confused. So this part, this 5 will multiply with everything there. So 5 times 5 minus x, then this negative x will also have to multiply with everything there, which is 5 minus x. So we have 5 times 5, that will give us 25. 5 times negative x, that will give us negative 5x. And then negative x times 5, this is also negative 5x. Negative x times negative x, we have positive x squared. So when we simplify this, we're getting 25 minus 5, negative 5 and negative 5x there will give us negative 10, to give us negative 10x. Then we have positive x squared. So we can replace it there. So we're going to replace this part while there is 5 minus x squared. So we're going to have 25 there minus 10x, and then we have positive x squared is equal to 51. So we can now simplify by pairing the like terms. So we have x squared and another x squared there, so we can put them together. So x squared and then another positive x squared. Then we have a negative 10x. We also have this x there. Then we have 25 there together with 51 there. So we have positive 25, and then when this 51 crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative 51. So we remain with a 0 this side. So x squared plus x squared, this will give us 2x squared. Then negative 10x plus x, this will give us negative 9x. Then 25 minus 51, this will give us negative 26. So we have this being equal to 0. So we solve this equation or quadratic equation simultaneously. So, not simultaneously, but we solve it using any method that is used to solve quadratic equations. So we find, let us try to use factorization. We find the factors. So before we find the factors, let us first find the product. So the product is found by multiplying the coefficient of x squared and the constant. So 2 times negative 26, this will give us negative 52. And then the sum is simply just negative 9 there. You just get this part there. So negative 9 is the sum. Then what are the factors? So the factors are simply just two numbers that if added they will give us if added they will give us negative 9. Then if multiplied they are going to give us negative 52. Yeah, so these two numbers are simply just these numbers, if you multiply them, they're supposed to give us negative 52. Then if you add them, they'll give us negative 9. So these two numbers are simply just negative 13 and positive 4. So we can say we have 4 and negative 13. So when you add negative 13 and 4, you discover that you have, when you add negative 13 and 4, you discover that you have your answer as 9, which is the sum, negative 9, which is the sum there. Then when you multiply 4 and negative 13, you get 52 as your product. Okay, so let us quickly replace these factors in the equation there. So we have 2x squared, then we have positive 4x, and then we also have negative 13x there. Then we have negative 26 is equal to 0. So we factorize. The common factor here is simply just 2x. Then 2x into 2x squared, this will just give me x. Then 2x into 4x, this will just give me 2. Then we have negative 13, then as a common factor between these two terms. Then the negative 13 into negative 13x, this will just give us x. Negative 13 into negative 26, this will give us positive 2. So this is equal to 0. So make sure that what is there and there are the same. If they are different, it means that you have made a mistake somewhere. So let us factorize. We get the common factor, we write it there, then we write the remaining part in the brackets as well. So negative 13 there, this is equal to 0. So we equate each term to 0. So we have x plus 2 is equal to 0, and we equate each factor here to 0. Then 2x minus 13, we also equate this to 0. So once we do that, we can now make x the subject here. So we have x is equal to negative 2 when it crosses the equal sign. Here we're going to have 2x is equal to positive 13. And then when you divide by 2, the value of x becomes 13 over 2. 13 over 2 as the value of x. So the equation that we're solving is a simultaneous equation. Then there's y and there's also x. So meaning we also have to find the value of y. So we say when x, we start with this one, when x is equal to negative 2, then the value of y will just be equal to, remember we had 5 minus x. Let me just take you back there on the substitute value. We said to find y, you just say 5 minus x, then you find the value of y. So from there now, let us just replace x where there is let us replace negative 2 where there is x. So to find the value of y, we say 5 minus, we have negative 2 there. So the value of y becomes 5 plus 2. So the value of y becomes 7. So we also take the other part. We say when x is equal to 13 over 2, the value of y will be 5 minus 13 over 2. So the value of y will simply just be equal to when you find the common denominator there, the common denominator is 2, so we're going to do this. 1 into 2, the answer is 2. 2 times 5, the answer is 10. Then minus 2 into 2, 1. 1 times 13, minus 13. So the value of y will simply just be equal to 10 minus 13 there. This is negative 3 over 2. So this is the other value of y. Alright, so these are the answers they wanted us to find. The values of x have been answered on top there, then the values of y are down there. So these are the values that are needed for this simultaneous equation. For this simultaneous equation, these are the values of x and y that are needed. Alright, so thank you very much for watching today's tutorial. Make sure that you don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and feel free to ask questions anytime, any day, and I'll be there to respond. Alright, see you in the next tutorial video.